Good morning, students. Welcome you all to this online class. Today in this class we are going to learn the second chapter from your textbook Honeydew, and the name of the lesson is the Tsunami. Students, before going to the lesson, let us know what tsunami is. Students, tsunami is a large and powerful sea wave caused by the earthquakes under the sea. You might have heard about the natural disaster as well as natural calamity. What is natural disaster? Students, natural disaster is a natural event such as earthquake, volcanic eruption, flood, hurricane, tornado, tsunami, and so on, that causes great damage and loss of life. So we come to know that tsunami is a natural disaster, and if we observe throughout the country or throughout the world, every year people become the victims of natural disaster like flood, tsunami, earthquake, etc. And because of this natural disaster, people lost their nearest and dearest one, their own life, their properties, and all. That means natural disaster is one of the killer of human race. Students, now I would explain you the summary of the lesson. In this lesson, it is mentioned about an event 26 December 2004. That means 6 December 2004, a tsunami hit several countries, and the worst affected parts were the coastal parts of India like Andaman Nicobar Island and Thailand. Around 1,50,000 people lost their life, but no animals were found dead. Perhaps they had sensed the coming earthquake and they ran to safer high places. This lesson recounts or tells a few stories of bravery as well as intelligence. So, we will have these 5 main characters who displayed their bravery as well as intelligence during this tsunami. These all five characters were the victims of that giant tsunami. The first victim is here Ignatius. Ignatius was a manager of a cooperative society in Kachhal. On the day of tsunami, his wife woke him up at 6 a.m. because she felt the tremor of earth. Ignatius kept his television on the floor so that it would not be damaged by the earthquake. They did not expect that there would be tsunami. So they just stayed at home. As soon as the earthquake stopped, the sea wave started to rise, and all the family members of Ignatius ran away to save their life. But unfortunately, Ignatius lost his wife, two children, as well as in-laws, and his other three children were saved because they were with him. Our next victim is Sanjeev. Sanjeev was a policeman. He was also the victim of this tsunami. Sanjeev somehow managed to save himself, his wife and daughter. But he heard a cry for help from the wife of John, who was the guest house cook. So Sanjeev jumped into the wave to rescue her, but both were swept away. The next victim is Meghna. She was 13 years old girl. She was also the victim. Meghna was swept away by that killer tsunami along with her parents as well as 77 other people. She somehow held onto a wooden door and stayed for 2 days in this way. 11 times the relief helicopter flew over her head, but they could not spot her. However, she was brought to the shore by the web itself. So our next victim is Almas. Almas was 10 years old girl. Her family had gone to another island to celebrate Christmas. Almas's father saw the sea waves receding in the morning. So he understood that the waves will come back with great force. So he tried to run away from that place to save their life, but the killer tsunami did not leave them. Her father, along with her grandfather and mother as well as her aunts, swept away. She climbed on a log of wood and survived. Later on, she found herself in a hospital. The last victim is Tilly Smith. Tilly Smith was also a young girl of 10 years. She, along with her parents, went to celebrate Christmas at a beach resort. But while they all were celebrating, she could observe an unusual behavior of the sea wave. She could see the foam bubbles as well as whirlpools in the water. Suddenly, it reminded her of her history classes, where she learned that tsunami is caused by earthquake, landslides, as well as volcanoes. So, she called her parents to run into a safe place. So they all ran to the third floor of the hotel, and in this way all were able to save their life. And you see, Tilly Smith's geography lesson saved them all, those who were celebrating Christmas there. And because of her this bravery as well as intelligence, she was awarded by Thailand government. She was from Thailand. So the students, as per the record, it is found that during this tsunami, many people lost their life. But in the record, no animals were found or reported dead. So it proves that animals may have sixth sense. Even it is said that animals can feel the tremor of earth long before humans realize. So, as per one report of Sri Lanka, if we observe at the Yala National Park of Sri Lanka, no animals were found dead, whereas 60 visitors were swept away by this killer tsunami. So dear students, it is clear that animals have six senses. They can feel the danger and that something wrong is going to happen. That is why they all take themselves into a safer place before any wrong happens. So my dear students, this was the story of the lesson, the tsunami. I hope the explanation will help you to understand the lesson, and you please read the lesson thoroughly so that you will be able to clear the content. So for today we shall stop here. Thank you.